What's going on, guys? This is the Board Game Roamer, and I am back. I know I've taken a little bit of time off, but I think I've got something you're going to like. Um, so I had started a playthrough with A Quest for Fire and Ice, okay? And I did a couple of episodes and um, enjoyed it. It was going good, and I don't know. I just didn't really like. Man, it was going okay, but it wasn't going great. So I got to thinking. Um, to really show off what I wanted to show off, I wanted to use both tiles, so I tried that. But I think I want to do a campaign, and this basically has six, up to six, which is the final one right there. Scenarios, and so what I want to do is I want to take, I want to try to do all those scenarios, and I'm also trying out a different way of recording to see if this will make it any easier. Because part of the thing is I'm kind of limited. I only have so much time before the batteries run out, and then I got to switch, and it's just a real pain. It takes up a lot of time that I could be gaming with gaming for you guys. So I'm gonna try this, see how it works. What I've done is I've actually already pre-selected 4 characters, and those characters are over here. And let me get their stuff. Also, let me get their stuff. Alright, so I've pre-selected 4 characters. We're going to start with Lil'ned. That's the first character. That's this guy right here. He does not have a color on his base. He's too big for that. His special ability, Shadow Mode skill, if he gets a BAM on an attack, he gets plus 2 hits, and then his defense is always -1 in the shadows. Special skill, he's huge. Melee actions have range 0 to 1, and he blocks enemy line of sight. And the recommended class for him is Bone Crusher, and that's the class we picked. And I'll show you his mini. There we go. That's him. Basically, he's a big damage dealer. Currently, he's got leather armor and an axe that gives that's 1 red damage. The second character is Sarah. Her Shadow Mode skill. Sorry, it's going to be hard for me to read this like this. Shadow Mode skill is gets attack +1 per ally in the same zone. Special actions, basically, she can drag people with her. And she is playing the Noble Warrior class, which is kind of a combination of defensive with a little bit of healing. She is the blue. She is this figure right here. There she is. And she is using the longsword, which gives her 1 yellow to attack and 1 blue to defense, and of course leather armor. So she's got 2 blue defense. The next one is Silence. Shadow Mode skill, attack +1 reroll or defense. +1 reroll on attack or defense in the shadow. Special skill is a trapper. Enemies in the same zone as Silence get defense -1. So that's good. He's running with the same thing, longsword and leather armor, just like Sarah is. His class is Blood Moon Night Runner. And I guess I'll go over the special skills here in a second. Miriam, her Shadow Mode skill is attack or defense, steal 1 BAM or diamond from the defender or attacker. Now, when I first saw that, I was like, oh, is that really that great? But once you see her skills, because she's a battle wizard, basically, if she's not rolling these, she can start taking them, and then she can use those symbols to really juice up her attacks and defense, which is kind of what the battle wizards are. They kind of start out squishy, but later on they get pretty cool. Special skill healer. Special skill healer. Once per activation, roll a blue die and heal wounds equal to the number of shields from herself or an ally in line of sight. So she does have a little bit of additional healing. And I chose her over Elias because everybody plays Elias. And I wanted to try to play some people that were different. Lil'ned is my favorite so far, and I just wanted to do something different, a little bit different. She is carrying leather armor and a staff, which is just 1 yellow. And on if she gets a bam on an attack, it's +1 damage. So that's the heroes. Now let's talk for just a second. Oops. Let's talk for just a second about their skills. So this is the Bone Crusher. It's going to be kind of hard to see. But you can see that. Bone Crusher. There we go. Autofocus ain't working so well. Oh, there he is. But the Bone Crusher, his signature skill, Blind Fury, spend 1 XP. During his turn, the hero gets +1 attack and -1 defense, so basically it makes him stronger at the expense of defense. That's if he spends 1 XP. And then his free class skill, when the hero enters an enemy zone or an enemy enters the hero zone, inflict 1 wound to the enemy. So he's kind of going to be like a big damage dealer, which we like. Then we have the Noble Warrior, signature skill, spend 1 XP, choose an enemy in line of sight. Heroes attacking this enemy get +1 attack until you use this signature again. So basically, you can kind of mark an enemy and do extra damage to it. And the free class skill is Command, and Command is essentially giving away one of your action points. I believe. Let me double check that though. Yeah. Basically, you give away 1 action point of yours to allow somebody else to do an action, and it does not trigger a counterattack. So if it's in a combat, it actually doesn't trigger a counterattack for them, which is kind of cool. Then the Blooded Night Runner, 1 XP to make a free movement action. That's the signature skill, the free class skill. The first attack is considered Shadow. That's pretty common in the Battle Wizard. Spend 1 XP, and then on attack or defense, and if you do an attack or defense, a diamond becomes basically 2 BAMs, which you kind of may say, well, why is that? Well, that's because like Fireball with 2 BAMs is +3 damage, so that's why. And then Teleport to get out of those really rough situations. Okay, so I have my dice over here. There they are. Woo! I did that, and you can even see them. There's all of our dicey dice. And I have my stuff set over here to the sign-off screen. I'm going to try to do these playthroughs. I'm just going to try to focus on just playing. I think part of what I did in the other ones is I felt like I was trying too hard on the camera work. If you've watched my intro, I'm a gamer. I enjoy playing these, and I want to give you guys good content. But at the same time, in order to do that, it's got to be fun. And I would be doing you a disservice, and I would be dishonest if it wasn't fun for me. So I'm going to try to just play, like we do when we get together with our groups. I'm just going to play, and do the best I can, and what happens happens. I'm going to try to get all the rules right. I'm going to try to make it look as good as I can, but bottom line is we just want to play. But let's start the first turn. We've done a setup, Massive Darkness, right there, like that. That's slick, right? That's professional, sort of. Okay, so just a reminder of these tiles. These are crystal tiles. So the way these tiles work is any of these rooms that are crystals, right, these blue rooms, if I end an activation with a hero in one of those rooms, I roll a blue die, a blue defense die. If it's a blank, then nothing happens. If it's a single shield, then I heal 1 wound. And if it's the double and the bam, then you take 2 wounds and you're stunned. So, you know, not the end of the world, but it can be rough, especially if you get stuck in there with a bunch of mobs. So that's something to consider. And we'll talk about the lava when we get to it. So I'm going to read to you out of the quest book the kind of the intro text, and then we'll talk specifically about the quest. So the Singing Mountain is a sleeping volcano known for hosting a natural maze of crystal and molten rock. For centuries, artists, dreamers, and lovers have been known to wander around, bathing in the crystal's eerie light and listening to their song. Making any noise close to these, even just breathing, echoes in nice, entrancing notes. The local townsfolk called upon us after several people went up to the Singing Mountain recently and were never heard from again. Thieves or darkness? Better call a lightbringer. So the first quest we have is called the Crystal Cave. It says, despite being lightbringers, we didn't find anyone to guide us around. These people are all either afraid or dead already, which is basically the same for our purpose. Whatever. It wasn't long until we found and tracked a monstrous trail across the forest up to a cave entrance. We heard the crystal song before smelling minions of the darkness. We are game to clean the place, playing music with our weapons. Loud. Louder. So here's our objectives. There is a lair token, which is right here. Just slightly off screen. I'll move the camera when we get to it. But there's a lair token in the last room that when we open up the last door to the last room will for sure spawn a lesser roaming monster. And we have to kill that. Also, here and here are 2 artifact tokens. Basically, there are 2 pieces of an artifact. We have to pick those 2 up and basically drop those on the lair token that's in the final room. When we pick those up, they just do not give us a piece of the artifact. They basically just represent 2 pieces of the artifact we need to destroy the lair. We can pick up one of these artifact tokens for an action, and then we have to spend an action to drop it on the lair when we do finally get down there to it. This is a level 1 to 3. Also, just as a reminder, I am going to be doing, I'm going to go ahead and do the campaign rules. I have not done that yet. So we're going to be earning micro XP. It'll be a little bit slower, but like I said, I want to go actually through the entirety of this book is my goal. Right? So we can take this journey together. As always, if you see anything that I do wrong, or a rule that I do wrong, or something like that, definitely let me know constructively. I enjoy that. I want to get it right. I want you guys to watch it and get it right. And if somebody comes along later and watches it, I want it to be right for them. And so I guess with that, let's put everybody on the start tile. Oh, I already realized something I didn't do. So we're going to start the start player. Also, I'm going to kind of like tell you what these people, what the survivors get as they go. I don't want to make a big deal about trying to like get the camera on them and stuff, because again, I think for me, that's just frustrating, and I'd rather just play the game. I'd rather you see the gameplay, because I know I've watched some of the guys on some of the channels that I watch on a regular basis, and they don't have the greatest, latest stuff, and their video's not 4K, and they're using a camera that they've had for forever, but I still enjoy watching them because I watch for the game. So hopefully you guys will understand and feel me on that. So we'll start with Well, I guess let's just start at the top. So we'll have Miriam be numero uno. I don't know why I pointed them. The only reason these are sitting out is because these would not fit in the box that I've got for all the storing this massive amount of miniatures. So they stay in the normal game box, so I just set them out. But okay, enough of me jabbering. Let's get started. So Miriam, first thing we're going to do is she's going to use her movement and go 1 and open the door. And we'll pull a door card. The door card is, let's see up here when you see it. I guess no enemy and 3 treasures. Oh, I've got my little tokens over here. In the first room, no enemy, 3 treasures. Boom, boom, boom. Second room, a guard card and 2 treasures. Yep. Alright, so we get rid of that. So, level 1 guard card is going to be, Orc Flayers. 1 red, attack, 3 health apiece, and 1 per hero, so that means we're going to have, get used to doing that. Focus. There it goes. Oh, maybe I need to do that. So 3 health, 1 per party, 1 red die attack. Alright. So we'll put them over there. And of course, we need to draw the first thing we draw is a lucky find, which we have to discard. Is it not for them? And they get a dwarven shield, which does them no good. Right? Because they don't have anything. But it would be good for me because it makes a 2-handed or 1-handed. So I could have the shield and a 2-handed weapon at the same time, basically. So we'll put that over here. We will put this underneath the bottom because that's been effectively discarded. Then we will find... Oh, this is the fun part. So many boxes. Alright, I think it's in this one. The Orc Flayer. Yep, I'm pretty sure it's in this one. Alright, so we got, what do we got? We got, got a lot of stuff. No, that's not the Orc Flayer. It's Goblin Boots. Oh, here we go. There's the Orc Flayer boss. And then we got some minions. And we have 4 heroes. So we have 4 minions. Is it number 21? Yeah, I think that's number 21. Yep. Cool. There we go. Right. So, actually, let me do this too. I'm going to do this, pull this down here. I'm playing them. Gosh, I mean, well, okay. So, I really, she can't do a lot of damage to him yet. But, here's what I am going to do. So that was one action. Second action, going to do a movement action. Go 1, pick up the 3 treasures. That's 3 level 1, so let's draw 1, 2, 3 level 1s. So I get a plague javelin, a composite bow, and a mage's charm. Of course, all those are two-handed except for the mage's charm, which is an item. So the mage's charm, I'll show you this because this is pretty cool. Basically, plus once per activation, roll yellow and deal wounds equal to the number of swords to the enemy line of sight in range 0 to 2. So basically, it's a little bit of free damage there. So I definitely want to keep that for her. I'll go ahead and do that actually, because why not? There's 1. Yay! Damage. I have 3 apiece. Alright, so that's that. Then I've got to decide. Well, I guess I needed to decide if I wanted to equip. You know, I think I'm gonna have. So I'm gonna say equip the plague javelin because as nice as the scepter is, a bam with the plague javelin is a wound instead of just a damage. So it would penetrate their defenses. And then I think, yeah. Then I think I'm just going to. I think I'm gonna attack with the third action. Might as well. So she gets 2 yellow because she is ranged. So we roll that. So that's a blank, and that's really hard to see. Sorry, guys. So we got a blank and a hit. So that's 1 more hit. And they cannot counterattack from where they're at currently. So that takes care of her. Unfortunately, no orc flayers were harmed in the making of this film yet. Emphasis hopefully on yet. Next up is Silence, the Blood Moon Night Runner. And definitely going to use 1 action, 1, 2 to move in here. And second action, movement action to move in here with the mobs. And then the third action will be an attack. So she gets a yellow. They have no defense. So she just rolls the yellow. Oh, wow. Wow. That was 2 yellow and a bam. Nice. So that's 2 damage. So that's one of the 2 that kills one of the minions and gives her a micro XP. And then a second damage goes on there. So that's move, attack. That's it. Then they get to attack her back. They get a red die. She gets 2 blue die because she's using the longsword. So they do 1, but she blocks with 2, so she's good there. Alright. Good deal. Okay. So next up is Sarah, the noble warrior. Guys, give me a second. I'm going to scoot this up just to tear it out if I can. Just trying to watch the screen, make sure I don't screw this up. That way that'll be on the, that way that'll be on the, everything will be on the table. A little bit easier for me to get to and hopefully not knock off. Okay, so what does she get? So I think she can use her free class skill, which she can use once per round, and have Ned, little Ned, do a movement action. So he's going to go 1, 2. So that's one of her commands. And then her second action is also, is also going to be to move in there. And and actually, okay, so then she's going to do another movement action and use her special skill, Follow Me. This is where she drags somebody with her. And so she's actually going to move her and go ahead and move little Ned, so little, into that room. Yes. Now, that is all 3 actions. She did not attack. So she's good. She is done. There's no counterattack because she didn't attack. And then we go to our boy little Ned. So basically, he's going to do some attacking. So he's got 3 actions. Oh, I forgot his class skill. When the hero enters the enemy zone or an enemy enters the hero zone, inflict 1 wound to the enemy. So these guys actually took 1 last time. So his first attack, and he's rolling a red die because he has the axe. Oh my goodness. I love you. Too bad you're not in the shadow. Alright, so he does 2 damage on his first action. So that's going to be 1, which kills 1, and then 1 puts a wound on the other one. That's 1 micro XP for him. That was his first action. Second action, another attack, was a whiff. Third action, another attack, which is 1 hit. There we go. And then they're going to attack him back. They get a red, he gets a blue for his leather armor. And he doesn't have anything that does anything. 1 hit, 1 block. He's good. And that's all of his activations. Alright. So it's the end of the player round. It is now the enemy phase. And they're going to attack. And it's going to be hero in range with the most XP, which is actually going to be Silence. It is 2 micro XP. So he gets 2 blue as a defense, and they get 1 red. Alright, I'm going to put this out here because these dice, Chip Theory Games, dice tray, most awesome dice tray ever. Alright, so they get 2 hits. Fortunately, Whisper rolled 2 defenses, and their band doesn't do anything for her, so she's good to go. So no damage or anything from them. The experience phase would happen next. Nobody's got enough to do anything, so we go to the event phase. So, unexpected monster, spawn a roaming monster. Ignore this card at level 1. Whew, thank you, Jesus.